All right, welcome back down to the C80 auditorium. I don't know, for lack of a better term, I guess. It's not named or anything, but yes, welcome back. I'm not going to keep you for very long. I want everyone to be able to go to lunch and get to your method of transportation, whether it be plane, train, or automobile. Before you all take off, I did want to spend just a second to do some closing remarks. First, I wanted to say thank you to all of you for attending. Truly, I did not know what was going to happen when I started planning this a year ago. I, again, naively assumed that maybe COVID would be under better control than it is right now. And we've all had to kind of deal with events as they've unfolded. So we've had presenters who had to duck out because they got COVID or their kids got COVID or other reasons. And you all took a chance on coming here. I didn't know how this would go. I didn't know whether we'd get enough people that it would be worth it. I didn't know that people would actually want to attend and present. I didn't know whether we would manage to cover all the logistical bases we had to cover in order to make it possible, especially amid an ever-changing university policy scheme regarding the pandemic. So again, thank you for taking that chance and coming here and supporting this event as an inaugural attempt to bring together this community of practice. Well, I genuinely appreciate that a lot. I mean, I did spend a lot of time over the last year figuring out how to make this work and gone back and forth via email, but it was not me that made this all come together. I wanted to ask Juliet to come down here so you could thank her. The cake is a lie. Truly, this could not have happened without Juliet's expert guidance through the coordination process. I never could have dealt with the barrage of emails from catering and IT and the registration of all the different rooms that we needed to use, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So again, I appreciate the accolade, but I don't think this would be possible without Juliet, and I don't want to take any credit away from her. And so what does that mean for the future? Well, first, I'm going to continue updating the event website with new information. In addition, I'm going to add a media gallery that has photos that I've been taking over the last few days. We have some that were taken by our photographer from the School of Education, as well as Ken Thompson, although I'm not sure he's still here, and Cassandra Thompson, his partner. I also want to remind you that there will be updated information about what's coming ahead. And on that note, similarly, I'm going to be updating the social media materials to reflect those same changes. We had an unconference session yesterday about Frontiers 2 Electric Boogaloo and whether it was worth doing. And I will tell you now that the overwhelming response was to do it again. So the good news is it's actually a lot easier to do this a second time because all of the infrastructure is already there. So we have a plan, we have a website, we have social media stuff, we have people who've attended and can actually testify that it wasn't a flaming dumpster, that there was a real value to coming to this. We're going to make some slight changes. I am going to reach out to folks over the summer and essentially ask what I had done previously. What I did for this session was essentially said, would you want to come and would you present something, just to try and fill the schedule. I think what we're going to do this next time is focus on theming groups of people to talk. And the reason for that was because everyone felt like, well, there were 3 presentations at a time that were all equally interesting. I wanted to go to all of them, but I can't do that. And so we decided the way to address that issue was going to be to run 3 parallel tracks, but have them do slightly different things. So 2 of them are going to be groupings of 3 scholars or 3 presenters who will have the forthcoming year to decide what do the 3 of you want to do with your time. And we're going to ask folks for themes that they are interested in talking about. And we're going to ask folks for themes that they are interested in talking about. so that every discussion will be more like the plenary sessions we had in the morning. And rather than having a focus on 45 minutes of a traditional talk, you would more likely get 3 different projects that get briefly introduced and summarized, and then an opportunity to talk to the 3 people about their common interests regarding the humanities or STEM or justice or all of these other things related to games and play. The third track we're going to call peer-reviewed play. And essentially, rather than having traditional presentations, some of the presenters may choose to demo a game and basically do an hour-long workshop on that game. And that way, folks can choose to either go play a game with directed facilitation by the person who created it, or you can go to these more traditional presentation, plenary session style things. The community arcade will stay. That was really successful, I think. Catering will be pretty much exactly the same with all of the food provided as part of registration. And really the next step is to figure out how do we expand this to bring in some more people. So I'd mentioned this is a community of practice. I know we have some people who couldn't be here in person but are online. Our hope is that now that we can give this much advance notice, it'll be easier for people to schedule. And we've done this through the pandemic and can prove that it's workable and that it can be safe and that we can do these things in a way that's actually regimented and accessible to everybody. So that's my announcement, I guess, or my plug to say, if you enjoyed what you experienced here, please come back. That would be awesome. Also, feel free to share with others who you work with, your students, your colleagues, et cetera. They would be welcome too. Our target goal would probably be between 70 and 120 people-ish to be able to take advantage of all of the different affordances of the facilities and also get those conversations to be more robust. One other thing we talked about doing on the first day is sort of like speed dating, but for talking about what you do or a project you're really passionate about. So 2 minutes with everybody who's in attendance to learn from them and to teach them about who you are, which I don't know if how many of you have ever done speed dating. It's actually pretty exhausting and it's not great for building romantic relationships, I don't think, but I think it can be quite good in place of handing out business cards or whatever we usually do with our elevator speeches. So that's it. Please go enjoy lunch. Again, thank you for coming, and we hope to see you next time.